A life where ambition and goals takes the lead over diapers and screams. What is up, everybody? It's Kelsey with Diary of the Child Free, and today we are covering the topic of choosing our careers over having children. Because as much as some like to believe that it's not true, children can cause the decline of one's success and growth. Believe it or not, some people, to some degree, work because they enjoy it, and they find the value in it. Would it be nice to never work again? Of course, that's a given. But at least if I'm gonna have to trade my labor for income, I can have some sort of fun while doing it. I know it may not be the same for everyone, but I like working hard towards the things I find enjoyment in. The success is my reward. It can be difficult to have both a successful career and children. And I personally know that I wouldn't be able to enjoy both had my desires in life been different. Between the stress and the sleep deprivation, any positive emotion would be sucked dry. Do I like working hard? Yes. But do I like feeling exhausted every waking second? Of course not. Whether people like to admit it or not, either your career or your children are gonna end up getting the short end of the stick and ultimately suffer as a result. The person may not know it in the moment, but their career or their children definitely will. Hence why you see people in positions where either their managers or bosses are telling them that they need to step up, or their children are acting up or growing distant because they never see their parents, let alone get the desired attention from them. So many of us are goal-oriented. It's something they teach us very early on in life to help motivate us to apply ourselves to things with meaning and purpose. If you look back on a lot now, you can see that a lot of what we've ever put effort into was at once a goal we aspired to achieve. When you are child-free, there are plenty of advantages when it comes to setting up career goals. And more often than not, we reach them faster, all while getting more out of them too. On top of having more time and flexibility to not only focus on our careers, we also have a greater ability to further them, whether that is with workshops, continuing our education, and so on. This evidently leads to quicker career advancements or other opportunities that provide more. Our goals are rarely ever limited, and we are almost always striving to improve ourselves, never settling, and taking advantage of most of those opportunities and risks. So that when things arise, for example, such as career opportunities in another state or country, we don't have to heavily weigh the pros and the cons so much because we have less to consider. I couldn't even begin to fathom trying to work, especially in a career I'm passionate for, having the stress and worries that children can bring to the table. When I show up to work, my focus and concerns shift to prioritizing how I can be the best version of myself in that very moment and nothing else. Some people may use their children as their motivation, but there are plenty of others in addition to scenarios where your children are gonna constantly remain on your mind and potentially cause distractions. Parents, and most often mothers, can generally be consumed with the thoughts of their children's well-being, about how they're going to keep them on schedule following the workday, if they're going to get a call about a sick kid, and so much more. I've worked in plenty of jobs where it felt like someone's child was sick nearly every other weekend. And just as quickly as they were walking in to start the day, they were just as quickly rushing out the door to go get that kid from school or daycare. When you don't have children to worry about, you can prioritize your focus to entirely one thing, and even possibly enjoy and look forward to putting in the work. You also don't have to worry about settling into your career too much for stability and comfort, because being child-free means there are far fewer things at stake, and you can feel more compelled to take those bigger risks. In today's world, it can take a lot to stand out against the rest, for a job, a big pay raise, or that big promotion. As a woman, it's well known that employers prefer those without children and not necessarily wanting or planning to have children anytime soon. When you are working for someone, they want a person who is and will remain dedicated with little to no distractions. While it shouldn't necessarily be this way, to some degree, it does make sense. Because if you were an employer, you mainly see dollar signs, and that goes hand in hand with reliability. And in the event that you are actually self-employed, you need as little in the way as possible, because it can at times feel like you are literally putting in blood, sweat, and tears into your business. After all, it's your livelihood, a representation of yourself, and its success determines your own. So while some people claim that you can have it all, it definitely doesn't come without its sacrifices. And so many people need to realize that not everyone out there wants to make those sacrifices, because they aren't worth it to everyone. So let's normalize people choosing to solely nurture their careers over choosing to nurture children. Now let's hear from you. Has being child-free made a noticeable difference in your career? Or even allowed you to excel a little bit further in some cases? Let me know in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more, make sure to like and subscribe to stay posted. And as always, keep being authentically child-free.